Mayor Darling, thanks for joining us on 710 KURV. All right, so I know part of the focus of the conversation was the expense that is, you know, here local. It's local and state, and charities as well. And what do you see on the horizon that might provide some relief, some reimbursement, some help to McAllen and Brownsville and everyone else picking up the expense right now?
Right. Sir, good morning.
Morning.
Well, hopefully it gets put at $2 billion. I think there's money out there that we don't have to wait for $2 billion forever. And so, we had a great meeting with Senator Cornyn yesterday, and hopefully we're working on something this morning to make sure we try to get some of that funding.
So are you tabulating all the expenses related to this? Who's in
Yeah.
charge of that? And I mean, do local charities get reimbursed for everything that they've done as well? How does
Yeah,
that go?
we're kind of handling this like a hurricane. So we have the person that usually does that those calculations for those kind of emergencies,
Mhm.
making sure that we collect all our money. For instance, I make $50 a month, and so I spend about 40% of my time. So that's $20 right there.
Yeah.
But at any rate, we're making sure we collect all that.
I'm sorry. Fred is really slow on the rim shot this morning. Fred? Yeah, I'm sorry. He forgot the rim shot. Okay. There we go. Finally, it shows up. Jim, the declaration of an emergency status is something that several people have been calling for. Why or why not is something like that helpful?
Number one, I don't know what we would get with that. We talked to FEMA yesterday, and you declare emergency. FEMA comes in. In fact, they offered some trailers, and we said we can't use the trailers right now. We don't have any room for that. And we have
Trailers for what, Mayor? What would those trailers be? Shower
showers,
trailers? Shower?
no showers, and they have
Because you're
trailer.
using your shower trailers right now. I mean, that's an expense that they
Sure.
could pick up and you wouldn't have to make.
Yeah, well, we need money though. It's not costing us that much to keep these trailers out there, but
Okay.
we really need money. And so there's no guarantee you're going to get money. You get assistance under FEMA. And we don't under declaration of emergency. We don't know what exactly they would provide, and we lose control at that point.
Okay.
And so we're still in control. We're gonna do everything we can to recapture the money from the taxpayers and make sure they're going forward.
What are we spending money on right now, Mayor? What is the biggest expense when it comes to helping these folks?
Probably the personnel. We have bus drivers, gasoline, our bus. We have people coordinators over there.
That's right.
And so probably personnel. That most of the material things are coming from Catholic Charities, United Way, Red Cross, Salvation Army.
Is that air conditioned tent? Does that belong to you guys out of the city? The one that's at Sacred Heart? You don't know?
One of the tents and one's from the county, and so we have some of those facilities.
So in essence, it's just man hours that you've applied to provide some personnel to bus these people back and forth to the charity.
Provide some security and those
Okay.
issues. And a lot of supplies. A lot of this is that the Catholic Charities and those organizations are providing, but a lot of individuals are providing money and donations and all those kind of things. And so the question is, and the doctors are donating their time. How much is that sustainable?
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
No.
And so we're going to work really hard this week to make sure we obtain some funding for us.
McAllen Mayor Jim Darling, our guest on 710 KURV.
Yeah, Mayor Tim Sullivan here. On your network TV appearance yesterday morning, are you comfortable that you got across what you wanted to get across in terms of the situation with the immigrants here? And I know you had some concern about you wanted to clear up any misperceptions that people have of the Rio Grande Valley.
I tried to. I was a little nervous because I had an answer, didn't care what the question was, and so I didn't know how that was going to go across. You guys are pretty sophisticated, but that guy up there does it for real living, and so I was a little concerned about that. But I want to let people know. It's a crisis, but what I wanted to show is, how the valleys come together. Not McAllen, not me, but the whole valleys come together to provide for people in need, and that's one of the messages I wanted to convey because everybody else is talking about the different immigration issues. I didn't want to get lost up in that.
Yeah. Did they get it, do you think? Did Mr. Stephanopoulos get it?
I hope so. I think he was going for something different, but I hope that came through.
What was it? I didn't see the end. What was it, Tim?
Well, he was kind of on his own agenda, wasn't he? What would you say?
Yes. And so that's I don't want to say this to be literal or anything. If there's a bright spot in all this for me, it's how wonderful the valley is. The people are really coming through, and I have on my phone a text message from somebody who called and said, "What do you need?" And they said, and he went over to Walmart, and it runs for like 40 seconds the tape of how much he was being charged. I mean, so it's really dramatic. I know picture says 1,000 words, but there's a lot of people doing that.
Mayor,
So,
would you agree, like Congressman Cuellar and a lot of local leaders, that we need leadership from Washington, from the president? We need him to without a doubt, mention a new policy that they will be caught, they will be returned. Like they're trying to fast track, and the president had mentioned that they're trying to fast track these. Kind of like Mexico. We need Central America to get it, to stop throwing their kids at us, because it's very dangerous. It's deadly for them, potentially deadly for them. It's dangerous, and it's just awful for us.
Actually made that point over the weekend.
Yeah.
There's really two things. I mean, one was people are blaming Bush for his policy, which is the unaccompanied kids. But then the president has an executive order dealing with the families. And it's almost the same thing. That's how the families are being released without a summary hearing.
Are you talking about DACA, Jim?
Yeah, full-blown hearing.
Yeah, but the DACA rule, only pertains to the kids who are already here now. The folks in Central America now may be getting some wrong information, but when they get here, they're going to quickly learn that DACA does not apply to them.
Right, but they still get a full-blown hearing, and so that's what's delaying.
If they show up, if they show up eventually.
I heard only in the past only about 10% showed up.
Yeah.
So if you're here, you're getting on a bus, you're going up north, you probably got 15 to 90 days to assimilate into the community and not show up.
Hey, we're going to be in the bullseye again for several days. We got state hearings, we got national Homeland Security hearings, and the focus on new funding. The president saying that they're going to be fast-tracking to release. Do you see relief coming on the horizon, Jim?
Well, one other point I'd like to make, and I was talking to the president, the first lady from Honduras, and she was saying a lot of people are coming here because of gang violence. And almost all the gangs in Central America are fueled with the drug trade. And so, we're the biggest, we have the biggest demand in the world for drugs until we get serious about some reform on how we handle that.
Great point.
Understood, but that's not going to stem the flood right now. I mean,
that's the reason we're coming over here. And so that's a secondarily policy decision we have to make is, how are we going to handle all that? Because we've been fighting the war on drugs for a number of years, and yet Tim and I could probably go down and buy any drug we want. I don't know where to start, but I'm pretty sure we could. And so, where's all
we
that
could start
going?
on immigration policy, Mayor. We could start on that specifically and do a 180. Mayor, we got to go. Listen, we'll keep in touch. Mayor Jim Darling from McAllen joining us on 710 KURV.